the gates and ready to go. Welcome into this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. So glad to have you with us. It is our first show post-2025 NFL Draft, and we got a loaded program ahead here on this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. We will be talking in our news and rumors segment about trading Noah Fant, as that appears to be more likely with the draft pick of Elijah Arroyo. We'll dive into that coming up, as well as Mike Macdonald talking about Jalen Milroe's role identified. What is he? Is he a quarterback? Is he going to play something else? We'll discuss that. Also, in the second segment of today's show, we'll go over the undrafted free agents, as we had a couple more that signed with the Seahawks since our video yesterday. We'll update you on those, and we'll give you some grades for this class of undrafted free agents. And then in our final segment, we'll go over the updated depth chart for the Seattle Seahawks, position by position. We'll break down what it looks like and how the Seahawks fare heading into 2025 after the draft. All that and more on today's show. Appreciate y'all being here with us. As you guys file in, shout out your city. We'll shout you out as we get this show off and rolling. We're coming at you from the Chat Sports Studios here in downtown Dallas, Texas. We are running on fumes a little bit here, folks. We've been working every single day since last Monday, pretty much. But nonetheless, we have been enjoying bringing you this coverage of the draft. And we still have plenty more to talk about over the coming weeks ahead here in the offseason. As we'll have the NFL schedule release coming up in a couple weeks from right now. Got the post-June 1 cuts. Got mini camps starting up. There's a lot going on still, and we're going to be with you throughout the offseason on these Mondays and Wednesdays. And I believe pretty soon we're going to be bringing back our Madden streams as well. So it is going to be very entertaining as we get you ready for training camp here on the program. Where are you guys at? I got Cecil in Lacey, Washington. Got Morgan in Edmonton. Got David in Dayton, Ohio. Robin in Salt Lake City. Got LP in Anchorage, Alaska. Mark Mason checking in from Reading, England. Got Terrence in Yakima. Got Shefferton in Spokane. I got Thomas in Rochester, Minnesota. Not Rochester, New York. Gingerbread Man says, Tyler. Hey, good to see you, Gingerbread Man. Got Richard in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Rick says that was a great draft. You certainly seem to be enjoying yourself. It was fun to watch. Hey, we had a great time. We had a great time talking to you all throughout the last few days. Got Michael in Honolulu. Got Friday in Shelton, Washington. Rick is in Kelso, Washington. Gingerbread Man checking in from Bremerton, Washington. Barry is in Fresno. Scotty in Largo, Florida. I got Brian in Kent, Washington. Boston George, not in Boston. He's in Minnesota. Got Crazy Fuzzy Man in Burleson, Texas. Shady Wolf in Royersford, Pennsylvania. Seahawks fan in Buffalo, New York. Barry is in Fresno, California. Ryan checking in from Gig Harbor. William in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. No Regret Native in the house from Kitsap County, Washington. Got Jonathan in Granite Falls. Got Janik in Munich, Germany. Got Race Car in Utah via Helm, Washington. Nitsu Trigger is in the chat from Long Beach. Got Jennifer in Washington. Mr. Big is in Washington. Got Fraudy checking in. We got Gaming in Bellevue. Nitsu Trigger, I'm going to be in your neck of the woods this weekend. I'm headed to Orange County on a Thursday night, Nitsu Trigger. So I won't be far away. I'll be around the corner from you there in SoCal this weekend. My post-draft trip is to Southern California, which I've been to one too many times as of late, but I have to go. I don't have a choice. Michael Davis is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Peter is saying Tyler and Big Tex. We'll bring in Big Tex in a bit. Max is in Oklahoma City. Got Eric in Greenville, Arizona. How would you grade the Seahawks draft? A, B, C, D, or F? How do you think John Schneider and Mike Macdonald did with the 2025 draft class? I gave this draft in our draft grades video on Saturday night in A. Mel Kiper Jr. in his draft grades, we put out that video earlier today. He gave Seattle an A as well. Even with as much as Mel was talking about Shedeur Sanders. He still found some time to say some nice things about John Schneider and his draft and gave it an A. What would your grade be? Eric says A. Seahawks fan says A. Ryan says A. Max says B. MXO Gaming says A+. Mark says A. William says A. Scotty says A+. David says A. Nitsu Trigger says A. Continue to get your grades in. Max saying B. Scotty says 100%. I don't know what type of grade that is. I assume that's an A. We got Jennifer saying A+. Michael saying A. Peter says I give them an A+. Seahawks did good moves. Good job. Michael saying A. Boston George saying A. Robin says A+. Jonathan saying A. Carlos saying A+. Marty saying A. Crazy Fun Man saying A as well. The grades there. So it seems pretty unanimous for the most part that everybody likes this draft. It's our poll question, too. Do you like the Seahawks draft? And of 119 votes, 100% of you are saying yes, that you like this draft that the Seahawks pulled off here. So Gingerbread Man saying he gives JoJo. That's my JoJo, Jody Allen, an A. Scott saying A++. Georgie saying A+. Gaming mentions the offensive line pieces. Joining me now on the ones and twos, it is none other than Big Tex. Big Tex, happy Monday to you. How we feeling after that weekend? Have you had a chance to get to breathe a little here? How we survived? It's kind of like the NCAA tournament, survive in advance, right?
That's right. Yeah, survive in advance. I don't know if I've had a chance to catch my breath and kind of decompress, but I'm definitely getting there.
Are you counting down the days to our 3-day weekend here? We got a 4-day work week this week.
That reminder just brought me some peace of mind on the spot, to be honest. I was worried that we were going to have to work 5 straight days through this week, and like you said, since last Monday, basically. So long week and a half, roughly.
We're all off on Friday. It's a
True.
company holiday to kind of reset after
Praise
the draft.
be.
Yes.
So that's nice. I am now counting that down. That you told me. I forgot about that.
So much going on. We forgot. Oh, yeah, we got a 4-day work week this week.
Oh, yeah.
But if you would like a shout-out from Big Tex, I already have 100 people in the building. All you got to do is type S. I want to see as many S's as we can in the chat over this next minute. That'll help out the algorithm, get more people to join us, and be a part of our live show today. I know it's still the middle of the afternoon on the West Coast, but we want people to know that we're here, that we're live, that we're talking Seahawks football, that we're giving you our post-draft reaction. Spam S in the chat. Let's get as many S's as we can over this next minute. Text will shout them out. I'll go ahead and get the S's started, and let's have a great time today. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Spam S.
Boston George, Jonathan, Dave, Eric, Scotty, Robin, Josh, Georgie, LP, STI Mike, Jonathan, Josh, Robin. Let's see, Jennifer, Josh, Robin, Aaron, Josh, Boston, George, Jonathan, Jeff, Josh, Robin, Michael, Midge, LP, Boston, Michael, Josh,
30 seconds
Jeff,
gone
Mitzi,
by. Keep going. Let's get some new
Georgie,
names in there.
Grant, Michael, Mixmo Gaming, or MMXO Gaming. That's a new one. Michael, Gaming, MJA, Robin Keller, Jeff, Morgan, Nitsu, Michael, Jennifer, Gaming, Nitsu, Boston, Jonathan, Morgan, Willie,
About 10
Michael,
more seconds.
MMXO Gaming, Willie, Morgan, Willie, Nitsu, Aaron, Josh, Michael, Jonathan, Morgan, Jeff, and Michael,
Very
and
good.
Josh. Good stuff.
Good stuff, everybody. And I got a variety of names in there today from all over the place. Appreciate you guys doing that. I think I saw Nitsu Trigger in there the most. I saw Michael in there quite a bit, too, of some of the people spamming S there on today's show. We're at 29 likes right now. When we get to 50, then I will take a shot, and we will get this show started. But I need you guys to like the video. Let's get to 50. We're about 21 away from reaching that mark. And if you loved the Seahawks draft, if you're glad to be hanging out with us here on this Monday, here on Seahawks Today, an easy thing to do is simply hitting that like button, my friends. and we would appreciate it. And as our boy Smitty likes to say, it's just the right thing to do. When you enter somebody else's home, like taking off your shoes, hit that like button. That'll help us out. And let's get this show started on the right note. When you like the video, type me in the chat. I'll shout you out. We're at 43 likes right now. I need 7 more to get to 50, and then we'll get this thing started here. And let's have a great time today here talking Seahawks football as we continue with the offseason with talking Noah Fant and Jalen Milroe coming up in just a few moments. 46 likes. I need 4 more. 47. 3 away. I see Michael liked the video. Thank you, Mike, for that. Jergy liked it. Thank you, Jergy. One more, and we'll be there. 1 more is all it takes, and then we'll be at 50 likes. Who's going to put us over the top and get us to 50 likes today? No Regret Native still getting his A-pluses in for the Seahawks draft. I like it. No Regret Native. There we go. 53 likes. I'll take a shot. Thank you all, and go Seahawks. Happy Monday, everybody. Let's have a great rest of the offseason, shall we? Oh, there we go. Nitsu says, had to pop open a bottle of Japanese whiskey to end off the draft Saturday night. That sounds a little dangerous. Tex and I will be the first to tell you. Just take off raffle ticket off there. Tex, there was a company party a couple years ago where you and I had a little bit too much fun, maybe with some Japanese margaritas. No. Remember when Yodes' wife made the Japanese margs? Do you remember this?
I'm getting nauseous just thinking about
Now you
this
remember,
memory.
okay.
Oh, yes. I remember the next morning. We had a watch party.
So Nitsu says that he had some Japanese whiskey. I don't know what that entails, but based on our experience that we had with the Japanese margaritas, they were delicious, but we were paying the price for it many hours later.
Oh, yeah. In the moment, I was like, this is gas. And then the next morning, I was like, this ain't it, Chief. I was like, I looked at the sun, and I was like, I was like, no. And I just couldn't function for, like, the first half of the day. It's awful.
The Japanese and their alcohol, they do it right. I'll put
They
it
don't
that
fuck
way.
around.
Yeah. F around and find out. Super
did.
chat menu. We do not have any Japanese whiskey here. Probably a good thing, in all honesty. First-time super chatters, you get the Seahawks chant. $5 will give you a beer cheers. $10 will take some shots. $20 will spin the wheel of punishment. $50 we will do a beer bong. You guys know how it works on our live shows during the week, our Monday, Wednesday live shows. If we reach 300 in super chats, we will do a boot. There is no mailbag today. It is Monday. We do mailbags only on Wednesdays. So the only way you can get screen time on today's show is by sending us a super chat. So if you would like to get on today's show, send us a super chat, and we will answer whatever questions you got. We'll party. We'll have a good time. We can get down on a Monday with you. Go ahead and do so by hitting the $ next to the chat box if you would like to contribute there. Coming up on today's program, we'll go over the latest news and rumors in your Seattle Seahawks, as we'll be talking about potentially trading Noah Fant. Also, what does Jalen Milroe's role look like in the Seahawks offense? We got some comments from Mike Macdonald that we'll get to. We'll give out some grades for the Seahawks UDFA class, and we'll also bring you an updated depth chart, position by position, how things stack up for the Seattle Seahawks after the 2025 draft. All that and more coming up on this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Jonesy and Big Tex here with you. Happy Monday, everybody. Thanks for hanging out here with us. Let's go ahead and get started with this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, starting right now. You're watching Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. Appreciate you joining us. And on today's program, we're going to be talking about the idea of trading Noah Fant with the recent draft selection of Elijah Arroyo. Does that mean that it is good night Vienna for Noah Fant in his time in Seattle? We'll discuss that possibility. Also, one of the newest members of the Seattle Seahawks, Jalen Milroe. What does his role look like in Seattle's offense? Is he a quarterback? Is he something else? We'll let Mike Macdonald explain and react to it coming up in just a bit. Before we get to any of that, folks, we want to give a warm welcome to the newest Seattle Seahawks, the 2025 draft class. I want to get 1,000 likes on today's video. Look, I've seen it firsthand myself here, folks. When the Seahawks get new players, their family and friends tend to see what the media has to say about them. So there's a very good chance that one of these draft picks, that somebody close to them is watching this show. They're very curious what I have to say and what the 12s are saying about the new members of their team. So if we can show them that we're rooting them on, that we're supporting them and wish them nothing but the best for their time in Seattle, that goes a long way. So go ahead and hit that like button, and let's get at least 1,000 likes for all the new members of the Seattle Seahawks. Do your part, and we'll get going here on today's show. Let's begin with Noah Fant. Noah Fant came to Seattle a few years ago, a part of the Russell Wilson trade. He was re-signed at the start of free agency last season, and now his time could be coming to an end with this Seahawks team after the recent draft selection of Elijah Arroyo in the second round. Not to mention, the Seahawks had a pretty decent rookie campaign from A.J. Barner as well in 2024. So what do the numbers look like here? In 2025, Fant has a cap hit of $13.41 million. And with that, he carries a dead money hit if he's moved, whether that be via trade or free agency. And it doesn't matter if it's pre or post June 1, either way, of $4.5 million. If he is moved, same thing. Doesn't matter if it's a trade or if it's free agency, pre or post June 1. There is a cap savings of close to $9 million, $8.91 million to be exact. And RotoWire put this out there this weekend on Noah Fant, and this is what they had to say. A 2019 first-round pick, Fant's career has never truly taken off. At his best marks for receiving were in 2020, when he posted a 62, 673, and 3 line, and he has scored just 1 touchdown over the past two seasons with the Seahawks. Thus, it's not surprising that the Seahawks addressed tight end early in the draft after also taking A.J. Barner in the 4th round last year. Arroyo may take some time to develop, but he looks like the Seahawks' long-term plan at the position. Here's the reality of this, folks. Noah Fant is going to be gone at some point. The question becomes, is it this offseason or is it next offseason potentially? And the question that John Schneider and Mike Macdonald have to be asking themselves, is he worth keeping right now? Are you better off with paying Noah Fant that cap hit of $13.41 million in playing him for this year, or are you better off moving him, trying to acquire something in a trade, or even releasing him and going with that cap savings of close to $9 million? Personally, if the decision is up to me, this is nothing against Noah Fant. It's not personal. It's just business. But I'm so confident in Elijah Arroyo, and I like what I saw from A.J. Barner, that I feel like you don't need Noah Fant. I don't believe that he is worth keeping just for 1 year at this point. I feel like you're better off if you can trade him and try to get something out of him and going with the youth movement at the tight end position going forward. But that's just me. How do you feel? Your chance to be the GM here on Seattle Seahawks Today. Should the Seahawks trade Noah Fant? You got 2 options. You can type T for trade, K for keep. Weigh in. Let us know in the comments section below. We have had a fantastic last few days here on the channels. We passed up 66,000 subscribers, and now we're getting close to 67,000 subscribers already. For the best Seahawks coverage you won't find anywhere else, you got to be subscribed to Seattle Seahawks Today. We're bringing you multiple videos a day, live shows each and every Monday and Wednesday, breaking news, Q-Day mailbags, and more. We are not slowing down throughout this offseason, folks. You got to be subscribed, and you got to turn on notifications. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV to subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. Jalen Milroe has made his way to Seattle, and we are certainly excited to see what he potentially can do for Seattle's offense. Mike Macdonald was asked in a press conference after drafting Jalen Milroe, all right, what's next? What are you going to do? What's your plans for the rookie quarterback since you already have Sam Darnold? He's clearly your QB1. You got Drew Lock there. You did move on from Sam Howell. What does the role look like for Jalen Milroe at this point? And one of the possibilities that was thrown out there that people have been talking about, especially with Clint Kubiak and his prior history in New Orleans working with Taysom Hill, could Jalen Milroe be a Taysom Hill 2.0? Could that be what is asked of him in this Seattle offense? And Mike Macdonald sounds like, at least for now, he is saying no to that idea. Listen to this. Macdonald on Milroe's role when answering the question about Hill, he said this: the way they used him was more of a tight end fullback hybrid role, sometimes taking snaps. Jalen is a quarterback through and through. He's going to be trained to play quarterback for us. While he's in there, he's going to be playing quarterback. But the athleticism is going to come to life when he's on the field. That's how he's going to help us. Now, while Macdonald may say that, this isn't going to shut people up by any means. I think the discussions are going to continue around Seahawks circles about Jalen Milroe and potentially carving out a role beyond the quarterback position. And the way I look at it is twofold. You can train Jalen Milroe to be a quarterback and develop him, but that doesn't mean you still can't use him in other capacities. Here's what I would like to see. I want him on the field in some way, shape, or form. I am not saying that he should be starting over Sam Darnold. I'm not saying that at all. Believe me. Let's go ahead and make that clear before you guys take that out of context. But with his athleticism, he's still too good not to be utilized, whether it's in a wildcat package, short yardage, maybe you spread him out wide, whatever it may be. With that type of athleticism, I don't think it does you any favors by having him just sit on the sidelines and hold the clipboard. I want to find a way to still use him and get him off the field and take advantage of the athlete that he is. He can still be a quarterback and be your backup quarterback, but still find a way to utilize his strengths. I think you can find a happy medium here potentially. Now, let's ask you, should Jalen Milroe exclusively play the quarterback position, or should he be allowed to play other spots? What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, N for no. Should he exclusively play quarterback and nothing else? Weigh in the comments section and let us know. Speaking of Jalen Milroe, folks, you've been waiting for it. Rookie jerseys are on sale now at chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies. Whether you're looking for Gray Zabel, maybe it's Jalen Milroe or somebody else out there, we have their jerseys at chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies. Now, you may be seeing on your screen, Zabel's got the number 1 and Milroe's got the 00. I can tell you this right now, that they are not going to be wearing those numbers, but when you order a jersey, it will have their number when that's decided, and you will get that jersey of what their number is. So go ahead and start placing your orders now. These are going to be going quick at chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies is where you can get yours today. We also have other Seahawks jerseys for you at that same link. You can go get your Sam Darnold jersey, Cooper Kupp jersey, whatever it may be. Go check it out for yourself now. Chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies to get yours now. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. More from Mike Macdonald on Jalen Milroe's role. He said this: quarterbacks that extend the play are incredibly difficult to defend. The worst feeling in the world is if you play the first play of the play perfectly on defense, you defend it, all right, sweet, we did it. Then the guy still has the ball. You got to defend the next play. Sometimes the third play. He can kill you in the first play, the second play, the third play. It's not a fun existence to live constantly. He has that ability. Now, here's what I look at with this situation, all right, in a perfect world. Darnold is your starter, no question about it. Milroe can still be your backup and you can still get him on the field in some specialty packages of sorts. I'll even put this out there, all right? If you want a bare minimum of what Seattle can do, why not short yardage? Why not a tush-push type package? And you're not having to use Sam Darnold and worry about him potentially getting hurt in that scenario. You bring in Milroe to step up and hold that down in that capacity. To me, that makes a ton of sense if you're Seattle to use him in that way. And that's just one of many examples of how he can be on the field but not take away from Sam Darnold, and you take advantage of Milroe's athleticism in that sense. You look at the QB depth chart, and this is what we're expecting it to look like. Sam Darnold, your QB1, Jalen Milroe, your QB2, Drew Lock, your QB3, and Jaron Hall, your QB4. Now, historically speaking, Seattle typically only keeps 2 quarterbacks on the 53-man roster. Will they keep Drew Lock around? That remains to be seen if they'll keep 3 or if he ends up asking for his release and goes somewhere else where he can be a QB2 on another team. Personally, I think it would be a crime not to use Jalen Milroe and find a way to get him involved in this offense. He's too talented. He has too much athleticism to not find a way for Clint Kubiak to get him involved with Sam Darnold still being your guy. Let's tell you more about Jalen Milroe. Played for Alabama from 2021 to 2024, was a 2-year starter, and it was a career full of peaks and valleys for Jalen Milroe, as just 2 years ago, he took Alabama to the college football playoff, but he was benched in that same season, came back to earn second-team All-SEC honors. Then this year, under new head coach Kalen DeBoer, after Nick Saban retired, it was a bit of a down year for him, but he still won the William V. Campbell Trophy. His passing statistics in 2024 were down from 23 touchdowns to 16 touchdowns. His interceptions nearly doubled from 6 to 11, and his completion percentage was down, but his passing yards were up. But here's what we're talking about of the athleticism on display. He is a hell of a runner, my friends, and this is what I'm talking about when it comes to a tush-push or a wildcat type package of sorts. 32 total touchdowns in the last 2 seasons with the Alabama Crimson Tide on the ground. That is elite running ability that he brings to the table. His scouting report, he can make big plays on the run. He's got dynamic arm talent. He's well built. He's got a sharp release. But because of the accuracy concerns, that's why he is not going to be a starting quarterback in this league anytime soon. He is far from a finished product. He's going to take some developing, but he's got the highest ceiling of any quarterback in this year's draft class. So, who should be QB2? Are you all in on Milroe, or should it still be Drew Lock? Weigh in, let us know. Type JM for Jalen Milroe. Type DL for Drew Lock. If you enjoyed today's show, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right. Who should be QB2? Should it be Jalen Milroe or should it be Drew Lock? Type JM for Jalen Milroe. Type DL for Drew Lock. Weigh in the comments section and let us know. Brandon says, I hate you and your voice, but go Hawks. Brandon, I don't hate you. I have the greatest voice you've ever heard, so you can deal with it. I know that's a lie. No one's ever complained about the way I sound. So you're still here, and you're still rocking with us. So whatever floats your boat, I guess. I know I have my 12s here to back me up on that. What do we think? Who should be QB2 right now? Jalen Milroe or Drew Lock? Shefferton says Drew Lock. Pat says Drew Lock. Dalton says Jalen Milroe. Dustin says Drew Lock. Seth and Jeff and No say Jalen Milroe. David says Drew Lock. Eric says Milroe. Shelton says Drew Lock. Georgie says it feels like a 2A, 2B situation. Jonathan saying Drew Lock. Steve saying Drew Lock. Weigh in the chat and let us know who that is. We have our first Super Chat of the day. Let's go. We'll go to the Super Chat menu in a moment. We'll get to our second segment also in just a bit as we'll do grades for UDFAs. Morgan with a $2.79 Super Chat from Canada. That's about $2.02 US, writes in. Trade Fant from Mozzie Smith. We need a true nose tackle. I like Mozzie Smith, but I don't think that that you're going to be able to pull that off. That trade value is equivalent for the two. But I do like the idea of Mozzie Smith, though. But I don't see that trade package potentially coming together. But Morgan, thanks for that super chat. Appreciate you contributing and being a part of today's show. Super chat menu, if you would like to get involved and super chat us, here's how you can do so. $sign next to the chat box. First time super chatters, you get the Seahawks chant. $5 will get you a beer cheers. Taking a little swig of water there. $10, take some shots. $20 will spin the wheel of punishment. $50, we will do a beer bong. $sign next to the chat box if you would like to contribute. No mailbag today, so the only way that you can get on today's show is by sending us a super chat. And we'll get to UDFA grades in a moment, and then we will go over the updated depth chart to follow after that. So plenty more to come here on Seahawks Today. Appreciate y'all being here with us. Up next, UDFA grades, and then we'll get to the updated depth chart to follow as we continue here on this live edition of Seahawks Today. Let's get to UDFA grades, and we'll keep this thing going. Appreciate y'all hanging out here with us. We're at 155 people in the building that are with us today. I got 88 likes. Let's get 12 more likes and get to 100 likes before we start our second segment. Hit that like button. We would appreciate it, y'all, and we'll continue here on Seahawks Today. UDFA grades starts right now. Here we go. Welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. Thanks for joining us. We have a couple of new UDFAs that have signed with the Seahawks since we brought you the update on Sunday. We'll go over those new names. We'll give out some grades, and we'll talk about a couple players that stand out to me here on today's show. Before we do that, I got a challenge from Chase Sr. in the 49ers report. He said, Tyler, there is no way you guys can gain 100 new subscribers on today's video. And I said, Chase, we've done it multiple times this week. We gained over 500 subs on our grades video. We gained 200 subs on our UDFA's video. We will do it again. We will do it again. The 12s will deliver. I can always count on you folks. For the latest happenings on your Seattle Seahawks throughout the entire offseason, from our daily news and rumors, our live shows each and every Monday and Wednesday. We're also bringing you breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more. If you're a diehard 12, you got to be subscribed to the channel. Prove Chase Sr. and the 49ers report wrong. Stick it to them. Subscribe now for free. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV to subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. Let's go over the full list of UDFAs. There are 16 total at the time of this recording that have signed with Seattle. They include Zy Alexander, the corner from LSU, as well as Jackson Woodard, the linebacker from UNLV, Issa Waxer the second, a defensive back from Villanova, along with Tyrone Broden, a wide receiver from the University of Arkansas. Also on the list is Connor O'Toole, a defensive end from Utah, TJ Jackson II, a defensive lineman from West Virginia. And we also have Wykevius Thomas, a defensive lineman. He is from America, but that stands for South Alabama. We also have J.R. Singleton, defensive lineman from Iowa State. And then that's about half of them. Let's go over the next half. Amari Kite, the offensive tackle from UCF. Marshall Lang, tight end from Northwestern. Seth Coleman, linebacker from Illinois, also on this list, as is Jalen Gaines, a defensive lineman from Illinois State at the FCS level. The final four include Isaiah Hamilton, a corner from Ole Miss, Jacardia Wright, a running back from Missouri State. He comes over from the FCS level, the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Here's a new name for you, folks. We'll talk more about him coming up later. Jared Ivey, defensive end from Mississippi. He was a name that was expected to be called in the draft. He ended up slipping. A nice late find for Seattle. And then the last name on the list, a new one as well. That is Federico Morangus, the center from FAU from Florida Atlantic, also on this list. For me, I give this a B for the UDFAs. And if we're going to be honest with you, I don't think that there's a ton of names on this list that have a chance to make the 53-man roster. And that's okay. You're not going to really find too many when it comes to UDFAs that have much of a chance anyway. But even with that said, there's still a few on this list that I really like, including a new one that just got added in Jared Ivey. We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about a few others coming up in just a moment. Before we do that, folks, looking at the list of UDFAs, how would you grade them? Get your grades in the comment section, A, B, C, D, or F. You saw my grade. I gave it a B. I want to hear from you guys. Weigh in the comment section and let us know. Seahawks Today is your one-stop shop for all things Seattle Seahawks as we bring you our daily news and rumors, and we're bringing you more content than ever before. I got to tell you, I'm working hard. Big Tex, he's working his ass off. We're just trying to deliver everything we can for the 12s around here because you guys are awesome. We have had the best year in the history of this channel from 2024 into 2025. You guys have been remarkable, and it is my honor and privilege to do this show with you each and every day. And the next thing that we can do to take this show to the next level is continue to grow and add new people. One day, we're going to get to 100,000 subscribers, brick by brick. But we need new subscribers each and every day to eventually reach that milestone for the elite coverage you deserve on your Seattle Seahawks, from the draft to free agency, trades, getting you ready for training camp, mini camps, and all. You got to be subscribed. Subscribe now for free. Turn on notifications. Anytime the Seahawks have some breaking news, we're going to be on top of it. I don't care if I'm at home at the Jones Zone or if I'm here in the studio. We're going to bring you a video here on the channel. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Let's start with Jared Ivey, as promised. And I got to tell you, I really like Jared Ivey. I was surprised that he did not get drafted. He had some really good production at Ole Miss this past season. 42 total tackles, 11 TFLs, 7 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. And think about this, too, as you look at that stat there. At the college level, because the college game is so much different than the NFL game, with how much the offenses are spread out, it is harder to get sacks. It is harder to put up the production numbers that you see at the NFL level. So 7 sacks in the Southeastern Conference, that's impressive, folks, along with the 11 TFLs and the 2 forced fumbles. Checks in at 6'5", 7'8", so he's basically 6'6", 274, 23 years old, out of the state of Georgia, a redshirt senior. Let's go over his scouting report here for you. He's a very good run defender with everything you look for in a stellar edge. What's one thing we've talked about with Mike Macdonald, folks? That when it comes to these edge rushers, he doesn't like guys that are just pass rushing specialists. He likes guys that can defend the run as well. That's part of the reason why Darrell Taylor isn't here anymore, all right? So that's not a problem with Jared Ivey. He can get after the quarterback, and he can stop the run. Large size with plus power and great pop in his hands. Some tweener concerns between edge and defensive tackle. Tom Downey and his rankings had him as the number 24 edge in this draft. Also had him as the 153rd player overall. So you can see why we expected his name to get called, but ultimately that did not happen. Another name that I like is Zy Alexander, the corner from LSU. Seattle did not draft a corner in this year's draft, but we did see John Schneider go heavy in these UDFAs at the corner position. And Zy Alexander, with his track record, he has as good a shot as any of these UDFAs to potentially make this 53-man roster. His stats last year, 33 total tackles, 2 interceptions, 6 pass breakups. Not bad size at 6'1", 3/8", 178 out of Louisiana, 23 years old, a redshirt senior. Here is his scouting report, and you can see based on Downey's rankings, we expected his name to be called as the 179th overall player and the 20th best corner in this draft. A very good tackler with ball skills and size. Athletic limitations raise some concerns and could result in a possible move to safety. He will play tall at times, which also impacts his speed as well. So, Who is your favorite UDFA signing to this point? We're going to talk about one that might be my favorite of them all. I like all three of these guys that we're focusing on, but I want to hear from you. Let me know who your favorite UDFA signing is. Speaking of the rookies, we have their jerseys on sale now at chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies. And whether it's Zabel or Jalen Milroe, we got them all, folks. And you may be seeing on your screen right now, Jalen Milroe with 00, Zabel with number 1. Well, when we get their numbers, that'll be the jersey you end up getting. So no need to fear. The numbers are almost here. And these jerseys are going to go quick. So you need to go ahead and jump on these and get these jerseys now. They'll be great for the summertime. Chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies to get yours today. And at that same link, maybe you don't want a rookie. Maybe you want a Sam Darnold jersey or a Cooper Kupp jersey, whoever it may be. We got them all at that same link. Go to chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies to get yours today. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. One more name I want to talk about today, and that is Jackson Woodard out of UNLV at the linebacker position. He was a two-time All-Mountain West Conference selection. He was the Mountain West Player of the Year in 2024, and he was a tackling machine, 135 tackles, 17 TFLs, 3.5 sacks. He checks in at 6'2", 1/8", 230 pounds, 22-year-old redshirt senior out of Little Rock, Arkansas. And the rankings on him, we had him as the number 21 linebacker in this draft, number 271st player overall. And this is his scouting report. Great production at UNLV, including 5 interceptions over the last 2 years. Triggers well once he sees the play. Just a touch late on processing, so that's something that he can work on. Athletic ability is also a bit of a question mark as well, but nonetheless, he's an extremely hard worker, and there are things to like about him there as far as that goes. So there you have it. That is a look, an updated look at the UDFAs, as well as our grades and some players to watch. We'll have more coverage throughout the offseason on everything you need to know about the 2025 rookie class. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Who was your favorite UDFA signing? If you had to give me one, who would it be, as Big Texas is about to return? And we had a big super chat that came in the middle of the segment that will pay off here in just a moment as well. Weigh in and let us know who your favorite Seahawks UDFA signing was. In a moment, we will get to our updated depth chart. We'll go position by position for you and break down how things look now for Seattle after the 2025 draft that's coming up in just a bit. Gingerbread Man says Ivy. Dalton says Zy Alexander. Let us know. Who was your favorite UDFA signing? Weigh in the comments section. Jefferton says Zy Alexander. Here we go, folks. You can throw that up after if you want. If you want to just get this up. We got a $50 super chat from Trevor Hansen. Bang! Trevor. Spam Trevor in the chat. Let's go. Trevor. Making it rain in here. With a 50. I love it. That's a beer bong. We'll do a beer bong here in just a moment. This one's for the good draft and for all the 12s. Go Hawks. Bottoms up. You don't have to tell me twice. Bottoms up. Trevor, thank you. Thank you, my guy. Everybody spam Trevor in the chat. Show him some love for sending in that $50 super chat. That's the way to get this party started today. Appreciate you, Trevor, and go Hawks. I love this draft. I've talked about it. You guys know I don't sugarcoat things. I tell you when I like something. I tell you when I hate something. And I thought John Schneider knocked it out of the park with this draft. And I know some people have concerns because they didn't draft a corner. There's still some guys out there in free agency like Asante Samuel Jr. There's guys you can trade for. There's ways to work around that. So I'm not too concerned by the fact that they did not draft a corner. I thought they did well with everything else. Trevor, cheers to you. Go Hawks. Woo! Keep spamming Trevor in the chat. Let's go. If you want to be like Trevor and send in a super chat, you can do so. $sign next to the chat box. First-time super chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, do a beer cheers. $10, take some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. $50, we will do a beer bong, and we can keep on partying today. We're at $52 right now, so we need to get to about $300 to get to a boot. So we're making some progress, but we still have a ways to go if we want to get there. No mailbag today, so the only way that you can get screen time on today's show is by super chatting us. $sign next to the chat box if you guys would like to contribute and make that happen. Up next, updated depth chart. We will go position by position and break down what we think of the Seahawks roster as things stand after the draft. We'll go over that. We have all 90 players on the depth chart, so don't miss out on that. And then we'll wrap up today's show afterwards. Appreciate y'all being here. Live edition of Seahawks Today continues. Updated depth chart. Let's bring you that right now here on this edition of Seahawks Today. Let's go ahead and get started. Welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. Thanks for joining us. On today's show, we're going to take our first look at the updated Seahawks depth chart after the 2025 draft. There's a lot of new names. Where do they all fit into the equation? We will go over it piece by piece. I'll give you my thoughts coming up in just a moment. Now that the draft is over, the countdown is on to the 2025 season. If you're excited for Seahawks football to return, I need you to spam S in the comments section. I want to see at least 300 S's if you're ready for Seahawks football. I want you to get in that comment section as if you're in your seats at Lumen Field and let your voices be heard loud and clear. Spam S, and we'll get started with today's show. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to break down the depth chart piece by piece, and I'll be honest, there are a few surprises out there to this depth chart that might catch you a little bit off guard. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and begin with the quarterback position. Sam Darnold is your QB1, and I got to roll with Jalen Milroe as your QB2 right now, and let me explain why. There is no way that you are going to release a third-round pick, but you very well could release Drew Lock, and that's why we slide him in as the QB3 and Jaron Hall the QB2. Historically speaking, Seattle only carries two quarterbacks on the 53-man roster. With them paying Drew Lock and welcoming him back with open arms and before the draft, and they made it clear that signing Drew Lock wouldn't stop them from drafting a quarterback, which turned out to be true. Could they do something they haven't done in quite some time and actually carry three quarterbacks on the 53-man roster? That'll be something to monitor potentially, especially as we get closer to the 53-man roster being revealed. But at least for now, we'll go with Milroe as your QB2. Meanwhile, the running back room for Seattle, let's go ahead and break that down piece by piece for you here. As Kenneth Walker III is still your RB1, with Zach Charbonnet as your RB2, and Kenny McIntosh as your RB3. Now, here's where things are different. The fullback position is back like it never left. And Brady Russell is transitioning over from the tight end spot to the fullback position. That news came out about a week or two ago. And so Robbie Oots, who was drafted from Alabama, he would be the backup fullback, we would think, at least for now. And then you got some other names in there. Damian Martinez, George Holani, who was a UDFA from Boise State last year, and then Wright, a UDFA from Missouri State, who signed recently. I think this is a special group. And when I look at Seattle's backfield, I could argue that this very well might be the best running back room in the NFL. I got four guys who I believe, and you might call me crazy for this, in Walker, Charbonnet, McIntosh, and Martinez, that could start somewhere in the National Football League. That's some real depth. And it's some depth you are going to need, folks, as we've seen that these running backs in Seattle, traditionally speaking, have gotten banged up a lot. Everyone from Chris Carson to Rashad Penny, and even recently, Walker, Charbonnet, and McIntosh have had their fair share of injuries. But this is a good group. I'm glad to see the fullback position back. To me, that's a huge step in the right direction. We're going to go over the full depth chart in just a bit with the rest of the position groups. But what do you think of the Seahawks depth chart where things stand right now? Grade it for me, A, B, C, D, or F, way in the comments section, and let me know. For the best Seahawks coverage around, you got to be subscribed to Seattle Seahawks Today. There is no off-season here on the channel as we're bringing you our daily news and rumors, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day. We also have watch parties when the season starts. We'll begin with the preseason there. We're bringing you breaking news anytime there's a roster change, trade. I don't care if I'm here in the studio, I'm at home at the Jones Zone, whatever it may be. We're going to break it down here on the channel. I want to get at least 50 subs off today's video. Stay up to date with everything happening on your favorite team all offseason long. Subscribe now for free. Turn on notifications. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. To subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. All right, let's go over the wide receiver room, which has gone over some massive changes this offseason with the departures of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. JSN is your lead receiver. He's your wide receiver 1, and he'll primarily be in the slot, although I would like to see him on the outside more, and he's capable of that. You got Marquez Valdez-Scantling at the right receiver spot, and then Cooper Kupp comes over from the L.A. Rams. Behind him, you got some new names like Torrey Horton, who they drafted out of Colorado State. River Craycraft is now a part of the equation, who they brought over from Miami. Steven Sims now involved. You also have Jake Bobo still hanging around. It's going to be pretty competitive to see who will make the roster. And when I look at this receiver room, if they don't bring anyone else in, I think they are going to ask a lot out of JSN potentially. You think back to last season when DK Metcalf went down and JSN was asked to step up, and he delivered, to his credit. And the only real guy next to him when DK was down was Tyler Lockett, and Tyler Lockett didn't do that great when DK was injured. I think that because you don't know how healthy Cooper Kupp's going to be, history tells us that MVS is very inconsistent. This is going to be a lot of pressure on JSN to kind of carry the weight of this wide receiver room. Let's go to the tight end spot now, and Noah Fant is still your tight end 1 with Elijah Arroyo coming in, your second-round pick from Miami. He will assume the role of tight end 2 with A.J. Barner as your tight end 3. And I'll be honest here, folks. I think Noah Fant better watch his back, if we're just going to be frank with y'all. Elijah Arroyo, he is coming. He is coming like a freight train. He, I think, can be a star in this league. And A.J. Barner was better than what I expected him to be. He was scouted as mostly a blocking tight end coming out of Michigan, and he had better hands than what people advertised here. I don't know if there's a place for Noah Fant anymore. That's just the truth of the matter. And his cap hit is pretty high. They might be better off moving him and rolling with these young cats with Arroyo and Barner right now. The end is near for Noah Fant. Who will be the tight end 1 for Seattle this upcoming season? Does Noah Fant stick around? Will it be Elijah Arroyo? Will A.J. Barner have a breakout camp and take the role of tight end 1? Get your predictions in now. Type NF for Noah Fant, EA for Elijah Arroyo, AJ for A.J. Barner. Chime in that comment section and let us know. Speaking of rookies like Elijah Arroyo, we have rookie jerseys on sale now at chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies. Now, you may be seeing on your screen Zabel 1, Jalen Milroe 00. That doesn't look right. Well, that's because it's not right. We're waiting on them to actually choose their numbers and get with the NFLPA and all that stuff there. Once they have their numbers, then you will get a jersey with their number. You can go see this for yourself at chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies to get yours now. And these jerseys are going to be going fast, my friends. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and get a jersey at chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies to get yours today. We also have other jerseys at that same link. Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp, among others. Go check it out now. Chatsports.com/Seahawks rookies to get yours now. The offensive line has gone through massive changes with Charles Cross still as your starting left tackle coming off the best season of his career. We expect Gray Zabel to slide into the starting left guard spot after the departure of Laken Tomlinson. Olu should be back for his second year as the starter at center. Anthony Bradford, we believe, is the favorite to be the starting right guard right now. And Abraham Lucas, please, for the love of God, stay healthy, Abe. You're a good football player. You just can't stay healthy. This offensive line, I think, is much improved. I have high hopes for Gray Zabel. I think he's going to be great right out of the jump. But with that said, can Olu stay consistent? Can Abe stay healthy? And then the right guard position. Is Bradford or Haynes going to get the job done? Are they going to need to bring in somebody else? I don't know. When it comes to the right guard position, I don't care if Bradford or Haynes win the job, or even Lumea for that matter. I just want somebody to do the job well. I don't think I'm asking too much either. I just need somebody to step up. Please, please. Let's move to the defense now. Let's start with the defensive line. Leonard Williams is back for year 3 at the defensive end spot. Byron Murphy II is back for year 2 at nose tackle. Jaron Reed at defensive tackle. This is exciting to see what's happened with this defensive line. You added Rylie Mills in the draft as well. We probably won't see Rylie Mills much this year coming off that ACL injury that he suffered in the college football playoff first round when Notre Dame demolished Indiana. But this is exciting. This is. And Mike Macdonald gets a group that he likes, that he can trust. The D-line was horrible, was ass cheeks for a number of years. And now they've said, hey, we can't get away with this anymore. And you look at what the Eagles did in the Super Bowl, dominating up front with the line of scrimmage. I'm not going to call this Eagles-esque yet, but it's heading in the right direction where the defensive line can win up front and you don't have to blitz as much because you can rush 3, 4, 5 and make life easier on everybody else in your defense. This is an exciting trend going forward from here. Who's the best player on this defense? Is it Leonard Williams, who we talked about, or is it going to be somebody else that we talk about here in a moment? Who is the very best player on the Seahawks defense? I have my answer. It's Devin Witherspoon. What's your answer, though? Weigh in. Let me know in the comments section who you believe the Seahawks' best defensive player is. Let's go to the linebacker room now, and there's some big changes with this group, too. DeMarcus Lawrence comes over from the Dallas Cowboys. And then you got Tyrese Knight. He'll start for his second season. Ernest Jones is back for year 2. He's got a brand new contract. Uchenna Nwosu is also back on a pay cut. And there's some depth. Boye Mafe, Derek Hall. I mean, you got a lot of opportunities to really mix things up. And if you have some injuries, you got guys that can step up. I mean, Boye Mafe and Derek Hall in 2 different seasons led this team in sacks, and they're backups right now. That's what we call strength in numbers, my friends. You got some dogs. You got some guys that want to eat, that are hungry, to work hard. This is the best linebacking group in a long time. It really is. I like what they have to offer, especially with those outside linebackers there. And I know there's some current concerns about DeMarcus Lawrence staying healthy. Well, you got Boye and Derek Hall there too. So it's going to be good. The going's going to be good there for Seattle at the linebacker position. Let's move ahead to corner now. And there was some people that were not very happy that John Schneider and Mike Macdonald did not select a corner in this year's draft. From now, Josh Jobe is the odds-on favorite to be starting an outside corner alongside Reek Woolen and Devin Witherspoon playing the nickelback position. So here we are. There's still a couple months left in the offseason. And I asked this question. Are the Seahawks going to start Josh Jobe at outside corner? Or will we see a trade? There's still some decent corners available in free agency. At the time of this recording, Asante Samuel Jr. is one of them. just as an example. Is that going to happen? Because I'm glad Josh Jobe is back. Don't get me wrong on that 1-year, $2 million deal. But I don't want him to be a full-time starter. I would feel much more comfortable with him as a backup. Mike Macdonald has said he would like some competition for Josh Jobe. I think that'd be wise. Do we really want to put all our hope and faith in Josh Jobe? I don't want to do that. I'm glad he's here, but I don't want to start him. Stay tuned. Should Josh Jobe start at outside corner? Y for yes, in for no. I vote no. Nada. Nah. What do you vote? Y for yes, in for no. Chime in. Let us know. We wrap up the defense with the safety position. Kobe Bryant and Julian Love are back, both coming off very good seasons in 2024. Kobe Bryant with a breakout year. Julian Love was fantastic, had a Pro Bowl season in 2023, and there's some new names behind him. Nick Emmanwori, I'm excited about. I think that's going to allow Seattle to get creative here. DeAnthony Bell was another guy that they signed pretty cheap that they have some high hopes for. I think this is going to be fun. I think this is going to be really fun. And Mike Macdonald is going to be able to go back to doing his 3 safety thing that he worked so well with when he was with the Baltimore Ravens with Marcus Williams, Kyle Hamilton, and Geno Stone. I think Emmanwori can play kind of the Geno Stone role of sorts of being your ball hawk safety. I think this is great. And you also have some depth to cover in case you do have an injury of sorts. I really like this safety group. I think it's going to be one of the more underrated groups in football. Last and least, the special teams unit for Seattle. Jason Myers, Michael Dixon there. Chris Stoll is your long snapper. Steven Sims Jr. is going to be your main kick returner. As of right now, Kenny McIntosh is behind him. And this is the only thing I'll say about the special teams. I like these guys. Myers and Dixon and others, you got some good pieces there. Just don't screw up. I mean, Jay Harbaugh did a horrible job last year as the special teams coordinator. Awful. He's lucky he's still employed, if we're going to be frank with you, with the mistakes we saw in special teams. And it wasn't necessarily about Myers and Dixon. A lot of it had to do with the line situations and the coverage that we saw. All I'm asking for is special teams don't get in the way. Don't cost this team football games. Just don't screw things up. All right? Go make your field goals. Dixon, put your team in good position in field position battles, and don't cause more headaches. That's all I ask. It's a simple ask. Jay, get it together. Appreciate you joining us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. For continuing Seahawks coverage, subscribe. If you made it to the end of today's video, that means you're a real one. You're a real member of the 12s. Spam 12 in the comments section, and we will see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right. There you have it, my friends. We are through all of our segments here today. We can keep the show going, but the only way we can do so is by receiving a super chat. We are at $52 in super chats today. If we somehow miraculously get to 300, then we can do a boot. But if we receive a super chat of any amount in the next minute, we can keep the show live. We can keep talking Seahawks football. We can talk whatever is on your mind. I am an open book. I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. You want to talk NASCAR? You want to talk about my love life? I don't care. Send in a super chat, and we can keep the show going. 1 minute is on the clock. Let's see if we get a super chat of any amount. First time super chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, do a beer cheers. $10, take some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. $50, we will do a beer bong. It is up to you guys if we keep this show going. If you're with us for our draft coverage, maybe you're new around here. We do this live show every Monday and Wednesday, 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific. So wherever you're at, even if you're at work, at home, make this appointment viewing. Even if you're still working the day away, just go ahead and pot us up on your computer or phone and check us out at 2 o'clock Pacific time each and every Monday and Wednesday right here on Seahawks Today. In addition to the daily coverage we provide you with our videos on the channel each and every day, we got you covered here on Seahawks Today. Gingerbread Man's got a $5 super chat. And he wants to talk a little hoops. Wants to talk a little basketball. We're playing in basketball. Oh man. We'll put this up. I see Nitsu also with a super chat as well. We'll answer both those here. Basketball Jones. Basketball Jones. You guys know that song, Basketball Jones? If I covered the NBA around here, they'd have to call me Basketball Jones. But I am a football exclusive host, just doing NFL and college football around here. Gingerbread Man with a $5 super chat. That's a beer cheers. He writes in, did you watch King James, LeBron James, F it all up yesterday going down 3-1? I was so tired from draft coverage. I went to bed early last night. I did not watch. But I did have a good laugh at the expense of the LA Lakers. I would love to see the Lakers eliminated early. They're down 3-1. They play again Wednesday night. It's not looking good for the Lakers. For LeBron and Luka, they might be going home early. If I told y'all who my NBA team was, you would kill me. If you know, you know. You can kind of figure it out. I am from that state, so that is my justification. I owe no one an apology for who my NBA team is because I'm from there, but I will not make any enemies and make any further comments on who that is. Netsu Trigger with a $2 super chat says, trade Fant for Jalen Ramsey. Do the Dolphins need a tight end? Do they want to take on Noah Fant's contract? Go from one bad contract to another bad contract? I don't know if they want to do that. I like the idea of Jalen Ramsey, but I would be surprised if Miami, because it's twofold, right? It's not only does a trade have to be something you want, but the other team has to want as well. I don't know if Miami would want to take on Noah Fant in that equation. But Nitsu, thanks for that $2 super chat. Seth says, any available nose tackles? Need to see Byron at 3-tech. Let's see. Free agents, defensive tackles. Who all is still out there? I'll be honest, I haven't taken a look at the list in a minute. I'm pulling this up in real time. Let's go over the list. Let's see here. Who is still out there, my friends? Available. Here we go. You got Raquan Davis, Austin Johnson, John Jenkins, Linval Joseph, and then there's old friend Jonathan Hankins is still out there, potentially speaking. So not a whole lot of great options. Another old friend, Quentin Jefferson, is also available as a potential option. Gingerbread Man, you would be correct. I won't say anything further. I'll leave it at that. That is my NBA team. I'm from there, though, so don't hate me for it. That's my justification. All right, we will head out of here. Appreciate y'all being here with us. A lot of fun today, talking Seahawks football as always. More to come on the channel throughout the next couple days, so stay tuned for that. Another live show coming up on Wednesday right here on Seahawks Today at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. For Big Tex, I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next time.